That's the brilliant mind of our next speaker, who is a EU consultant for the European Commission and an expert. And he's going to tell you exactly why, right now, there's no better time in the world for you to be a micro-entrepreneur and take advantage of the massive, massive changes that are going to happen. So I'd like you all to give a warm welcome to a man who, by the way, came last year to Romania, and I won't ruin his surprise, but he has a very intimate relationship with Romania as a result of visiting once here. Just like other foreigners like us, who see something special in you. Karl, please.
Bună dimineața! So my name is Karl McFaul, and I'm a systems entrepreneur, a future navigator, and a digital nomad. And I'm very honored to be back here again at Urban Talks in Timisoara together with you. And I will share today some of my work when it comes to developing new tools for regenerative leadership. Call that evolutionary leadership or transformational leadership. And I will tell you why I think it's important in this world where change is the only constant. And you see here also on the map some of the places where cities, individuals, and different companies have contributed to this work. And somehow also during my own nomadic work life, I came to Romania, and I'm going to stay here actually and continue to develop this mission with my base in Romania. And I will tell you more about that later. Now, we seem to have reached a better understanding and awareness today about this reality that economy depends on the society and the nature in where it arises and evolves. And especially the pre- and post-millennials seem to have more of an ability for this kind of holistic thinking, and they care about it. And they even take great leadership initiatives, you might have heard about Greta Thunberg, and to build this a new type of economy which we would like to be more humane, more healthy, and more ecological, which is basically what economy is actually about. Managing your household, and the world is our household together. Now, I will share with you some generic principles for how to develop this new type of economy by regenerative leadership. And it's principles that works on all levels, whether you're a micro-entrepreneur or as a city or as a business or we as a global community. Why I'm so interested in micro-entrepreneurship right now? Well, we are entering the era of the digital platform economy and the AI economy. And I believe very much that based on this kind of technology, where there is so much job displacements going on right now in the traditional sectors, with this new technology, I believe micro-entrepreneurship and constellations of micro-entrepreneurs working together is the future. I mean, we see here how we have moved from the city as a local marketplace in the agrarian economy, into the city as a production factory in the industrial economy, and then into the city as an administrative office in the information economy. And of course, these technological advances have displaced jobs within agriculture. I mean, in Sweden we have only 2% now working within agriculture. We see how mobility in global trade and e-commerce also displaces local markets in the cities. So things are happening fast now, and we see those changes in especially the smaller cities. Also, we see how industrial robots displace workers and replaces body workers within factories. And as we're now moving into this artificial intelligent economy, we will see how knowledge workers are being displaced and replaced by computers. Because computers are better to do machine-like jobs than humans are. Maybe we also, with our intellectual capacity, have a more important type of work to do based on our specific niche as a species, our creativity, our imagination, and our inventiveness, and our social needs. So let the machines do the machine-like work. We will, on top of this technology, anyway, as we have always done through transformation, develop new types of jobs. And that's where micro-entrepreneurship comes into play. And that's also where cities now are competing to attract these global nomadic workers and the micro-entrepreneurs, to create those vibrant entrepreneurial ecosystems. So I started out as a micro-entrepreneur myself, creating my own job in the creative industry as a teenager already. I got a record contract in my hand and produced gold-selling music. And I went on from that, since music industry got digitalized into pretty hardcore digital workplaces, like Chalmers University, who's top ranked by MIT as an engineering university in the world. And I've also there come into building up large-scale international projects. It's a lot about science and technology projects here within private or public sector context. And one of them we grew from being 10 people appointed by the Swedish government in the beginning to becoming hundreds of employees and thousands of collaborators worldwide. And with over 2 billion euros of investments from several nations in Europe to develop the scientific and societal infrastructure in the greater Copenhagen region. And I can say a key to that success was also something you can think about here, and I know you do it in the west part of Romania, how to form a strategic alliance between cities to compete with other powerful nodes on a global map to attract those capital investments. Now, in every project, every mission, every venture I've involved in, it has always followed this classical S-curve diagram presented by Everett Rogers in his book, The Fusion of Innovations from the 1960s. And incubation is perhaps the more easy part of this. The world is full of ideas. The challenge is to scale something on a market, and that's where often business accelerators now come into support. There is something missing here I've seen though, and this is where I started to look into the concept of regeneration. It's not enough with incubation and acceleration or administration. And what is the regeneration? Well, I took it here from the terminology. In biology, regeneration is a process of renewal, restoration, and growth that makes genomes, cells, organisms, and ecosystems resilient to natural fluctuations or events that cause disturbance or damage. Now, transferred to the world of business, which is also an ecosystem, the trick is to go from this to this. And here's where we start to talk about regeneration. If we want to thrive as a business, and this is not often what I see in the managerial boards or among the startup entrepreneurs or what they are going through these business accelerator programs. So here's where I, together with my friends, develop these tools that we see are crucial to sustain business operations and to do it again and again and again. And it's important to initiate those innovation missions in time before the inflection point where plus becomes minus and you go into the decline phase and eventually bankruptcy. So what are the mechanisms to attract, maintain and re-attract talent and capital investments to do this innovative work in the organizations? Well, I started to go around the world a couple of years ago with this new research of mine. And to gather people and resources internationally in this research and development for creating these new tools. And here you have some stakeholders in my group in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, also in Europe and Japan with some of the most distinguished thought leaders within intellectual capital management and innovation ecosystems. I also formed a team around this with some of the most well-connected nomadic workers and experts on societal innovation. We have a pretty bold vision, but a very practical and doable mission to work for this vision. And I won't have time to go through the toolbox we created, but it's new approaches to regenerative business modeling, how to build your special purpose vehicle, different frameworks for decision-making in complex environments, and how to build your activatable social network, and also how to use new KPIs and to highlight certain intellectual capital measurements in the narrative you build to get these new types of investments that you have in the field of impact investing. So this is something we can work with, if you like, later on in the hackathon, perhaps. Now, we have worked, for example, with the city of Trondheim, and our achievements there is that they have now become a center for sustainability in agreement with the United Nations. We have also contributed to the work I did as a part of this expert group for digital transformation of EU labour markets in the European Commission, where I took the initiative to develop this new framework for policy innovation, not innovation policy, but policy innovation, to make policy more future-proof. And when we look at the implications there, this is really where we see how micro-entrepreneurship can be the path for people to create these new jobs in the digital transformation and access these new professional networks for learning. So what is then a micro-entrepreneur? They work by themselves, keeping their businesses at a manageable size without the intention to hire employees and or to grow into a larger company. And they can begin to trade immediately without needing infrastructures, any funding, a business plan, and often learn business skills as they go. They measure growth in unconventional ways, balancing income generation with business autonomy, flexibility, long-term self-reliance, and personal well-being. So with these insights, we are now also building a navigation tool to make useful resources around European cities available in a smart way for nomadic workers and micro-entrepreneurs. And we believe this is a smart way to help people develop their potential in this new world of work. So here's a job opportunity for you who are skilled in database architecture and mobile app development. You are very welcome to come and talk with me and to join this initiative. And also, we are, of course, working with project partnerships together with public and private organizations and different investors in this work. Then, as you see, we target also some specific SDGs that we see as triggers for the other SDGs in this. And with that, well, why Romania? I put up a little list here. And great untapped potential, eager rising startup region, excellent ICT and STEM talents. The delta for me, being a nomadic worker and being here, 60% lower living cost than in Sweden. Well, I can of course invest more money into my startups. I use Romania as a startup platform. And I can do it because we are 25 different nations. I'm free to travel and do my work wherever I like. And also, especially the great hospitality, the friendly people I meet here, very crucial for entrepreneurial missions. The vital cultural life, especially the banat, traditional dancing and music. I love it here, you know, some palinka, papanash, every now and then. And yeah, the material quality of life. I can take, there are some hanging cables around the streets and some degraded buildings, but I live for people, not buildings. So Karl loves Romania, and with this I would especially like to thank Universitatea de Vest in Timisoara and Ovidiu Mega and my friend Alex Roja, who helped me to relocate to Romania this summer. And I would also of course like to thank Grazian and Colin for inviting me here again, and I'm happy to be here. Ciao.